Tell 'em Tribe Tarot. Daily readings for my tribe. Subscribe to my channel.
Peace, Gemini. I am Cherokee with Tell 'em Tribe Tarot, coming to you with another reading. Take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. You know the drill. I appreciate my newcomers, my returning subscribers. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend that Tell 'em Tribe Tarot is here. We're going to ask our spirit guides, our beautiful angels, our tarot cards, ancestors chime in and please provide me with the guided messages for Gemini. Please help me to see all things clearly. Amen. All right, Gemini. So what's going on with your energy? What's going on with the Gemini's energy? What's going on with the Gemini's energy? The Hermit. I see, Gemini, you want some time for yourself because you have a very important step to take. I feel like something big is happening in your life and you're not really sure how to maneuver. Overall energy is the sun. Oh my goodness, Gemini. Do you see how beautiful that sun is in this situation? Overall energy, this is bringing out the best in you, Gemini. I feel like you're having a hard time. Coming out of the hermit mode. Because for some of you, you're having a hard time retracting and giving yourself some space away from everything that you're used to ripping and running about and with. But for a mass majority of you, I feel like you're addicted to being alone right now in this present space. I feel like the presence of your own energy is so addicting. Like for some of you, a very large amount of you, because this energy is overwhelming, but it feels so good that you finally tapped into your own energy and realized how valuable you are. Like you knew what you were capable of, but it scared you when you thought about it. But now that you're experiencing your own energy and why it is that people are so attracted to your energy or are so intimidated by it, is because of how homey you feel. And now that you're giving yourself that feeling, like you're going out on dates on your own. I see some of you even booking reservations for yourself to beautiful restaurants, or even just pulling up to the bar on your own. Not even wanting to exchange conversations too much because you're respecting your space. And it's like this is a new realm for you. This is a new path for you because you are finally enjoying your own company. And for those of you who recently may have got it, well, not even that recent, but in the recent past, whatever recent means for you, it could be 6 months ago, it could be a month ago, but at least 30 days ago, I just feel like you are taking the time to slow down, and you slow down so much to see what is going on with you that it's starting to become addictive. And now you're realizing the importance of knowing oneself, because for some of you, you couldn't even explain fully how you wanted to be treated in a relationship. You couldn't identify what were bothering you. And now that you've taken this much needed time to yourself, you are now realizing what some of these triggers are. Because I think it's safe to say, like, by chilling by yourself and being triggered by things that doesn't directly affect you, like you can, like, say you're at a restaurant, sitting, chilling, eating your food, and then you hear a conversation at the next table and you're triggered by it. You know, it could be anything, and triggered in a way where it annoys you or made you think the thought of, well, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't be having that. Now you're asking yourself the question, like, why was I triggered by that? You know, that didn't have anything to do with me. It's not my situation, but it's deeper than it not being your situation. You're now identifying how things make you feel without the influence of someone trying to tell you how you should feel or trying to tell you how to react. Like, this much needed time is happening right now with you. And it feels so good, Gemini, because this is what self-love is all about. People hear all the time, love yourself, love yourself. In order to attract real love, you got to love yourself. But how? No one ever really says like exactly how you should love yourself and what that looks like respectively, because everyone's version of love is different. So for you, Gemini, you're loving on yourself by listening to your triggers. And I feel like this is going to be epic. It's going to have an epic end result or beginning result on your future relationships, and not just your personal relationships with people that you may consider to be intimate with, or just platonic friendships, work relationships, and any type of networking where you're understanding why you feel the way that you feel, and you can now explain what doesn't sit right with you, what you won't tolerate in any circumstance. And that's what needed to happen, because your life is changing. I've been saying this from reading to reading to reading. The common denominator is that this inevitable change of luck and attention to emotional detail is happening. And because this change is slowly evolving into something so beautiful and rewarding, it's going to reflect in every aspect of your life in ways that right now I don't even think you'd be able to fathom. So I feel like with this hermit mode right here, your spirit guides are just saying, and I feel like there's a Scorpio energy present as well, but your spirit guides are saying, being alone is addictive, but taking the time to getting to know yourself is priceless, right? So now that you're gaining this understanding, the only way to test your growth is to actually step out of this presence of being alone and starting to experience things with people again. So that's what the challenge is, which is the 8 of Wands. Like, you now have to challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone of being alone and step back into mingling again, Gemini. Because your spirit guides want you to experience the world with this new persona, with this new approach that you're feeling. Like, you always portrayed that you were a happy-go-lucky person. And then when you were by yourself, you felt like the world was on your shoulder. But now, being by yourself, it feels so good, and it's not a depressive experience. And that's why you haven't really been doing much that involved other people, turning down opportunities to go places with others because you wanted to work on you, being invited as a group to an event and then showing up as on your own because you didn't want to be in a van with other people, showing up, Ubering on your own so that you didn't have to be in a situation where you have to take anybody home, because you are really taking the time to get to know yourself and to understand what you really want for once, because I feel like you backburnered that for a while. So the task in connection with that is that now Spirit wants you to test the waters out. And now that you've reflected on what you want and you've been expressing and journaling how you feel. I see a lot of writing and manifestation journals and feelings journals. Some of you may be expressing yourself through poetry. Now you can take it up a notch and go to a poetry bar or a poetry club or a poetry night and read that poetry out loud. Your spirit guides want you to connect now with your people, because before you didn't have the right people around you to bring out this amazing part of you, Gemini. Like, you were already amazing. We not taking that from you. What I'm saying is, like, this sparkle, that spark that was not lit, that wick and that candle in your soul is getting ignited, and it's growing with all of these new versions of yourself that you're finding by understanding you and why you move the way that you do. I feel like you're now going to be seeing life through a different lens. So I feel like right now your spirit guides are just saying, okay, I see you've been dating yourself. Now I want you to show more now. I want you to give more now. Because we're here to give. That's what we're placed on this earth to do, Gemini. And you're like a walking light. You're a light that shines so bright, even when you're trying not to. So you try to suppress it sometimes, because you know that when you shine too brightly around people who aren't ready, it intimidates them. And sometimes it makes you come off as trying to be something that you're not, when in actuality, you're just not around the right people. Whatever you may be feeling is difficult to overcome right now, Gemini. Whatever it is that came to mind just now, right in this moment, as I'm pointing at the strength card, whatever came to your mind, something that's been bothering you, something that's been boggling you, something that you overthink about, something that you've been writing about excessively in your journal, where it's becoming the topic of your journal, something that's been plaguing you that will not release you or allow you to release it. Your spirit guides are saying, take the leap of faith to trust the universe and trust yourself. Trust yourself to be strong enough to overcome it. And you overcome things by acknowledging that you are not feeling so strong right now. Like, I am not feeling strong enough to let her go. I'm not feeling strong enough to let him go. I know myself a little bit more now, so I know that I'm triggered when I see this because this reminds me of her. I know that I'm triggered when I hear about this because it reminds me of him. Why am I triggered? Because I am not ready to release this energy. When you start admitting your truths in that journal that you write obsessively about in circles, that's when you'll start getting the emotions out and realizing that what you've been holding on to is nothing that can't come back to you in a more healthy way. So I feel like whatever has been holding you back, Gemini, what made you go into your shell that you've been in and then learn to enjoy your own company, I feel like now you're releasing it and you're now realizing that you always had the strength to release it. I feel like some of you may have been feeling under the weather, and your spirit guides are saying that sometimes you can think yourself into being ill. Some of you may have been feeling as if some of you may have been not been feeling like yourself. And your spirit guides are just pushing you to realize that you can think yourself into being ill if you try to create scenarios in your mind rather than getting them out, putting it on paper and saying how you feel about things. So it's like to me, I feel like there's like a mental block somewhere, and that's what puts you in this hermit mode to begin with. But you just have to consistently get it out, and more importantly, get out, because being alone for too long can make you insane. I tell you that much. So with the new insights being the 10 of Wands, Gemini, I feel like you can take on more now. You can take on more projects. You can Do more. Like, for instance, I was saying you can go to like a poetry club. You can go out, read your poetry at a poetry night, or you can organize a circle of friends, start a group on Facebook. Your spirit guides are challenging you to do more than what you're doing right now, because you may be limiting your potential with your thoughts. Link with people with like minds, or that may be going through the same situation that you may be going through right now. I hear that also someone needs to turn that creative idea into money. I feel like there's a lot of things that's on your mind about your place in life where you are. And this whole reading is just about rearranging the way how you think about things, because you need to realize that all you have to do is make a move. There's wands here as the dominant element in your reading is that you need to make a move on what it is that you want, Gemini. It's time for you to come out of hermit mode and make a move. Travel for what you want. Okay, now you've gotten a taste of what it's like to be alone for this time frame and you're enjoying it. Now travel up out of this energy and balance it out by inviting more responsibility. Challenge yourself to do something different. That's the word. So with you taking these necessary steps to have balance in your life in between what you're thinking about, what you're trying to accomplish, where you see yourself going from here, what you want in your life, what you don't want in your life, and recognizing what's real versus what's fake, I feel like the possible outcome will be the Ace of Pentacles, where you have these new opportunities that you will come about, that will be attracted to you with this new energy. I feel like you're changing the scope of your life with every single thought. You know, our thoughts become actions, Gemini. And with you thinking more positively, you're attracting more positive experiences into your life. Some of you get into this dark space where you just feel like you can't get up out of it, because you just feel like the world is against you sometimes. And that's only because you're thinking yourself into that space, which is why it's important for you to get up and get out, Gemini. You can certainly do this. Spirit, do you have any other messages for Gemini? If so, what do you need Gemini to know? This is not a coincidence that the Hangman is coming out with the Hermit, Gemini. These are two major arcana cards. We have three major arcana cards here, two of which is speaking about sitting still. So you have done enough planning, you have done enough thinking, you have done enough soul searching, you have done enough. You're always going to be doing it. I'm not saying it's enough in as far as stopping. I'm saying now you have to take the next step on your path, because standing still for too long will stagnate your growth. Challenge yourself to do something different. Challenge yourself to grow these relationships. I feel like a relationship will even come your way up out of this. A healthy one, Gemini, because I feel like deep down that's what you want. But right now, your focus should be continuously healing and growing, because with the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, new money and new relationships, a new business relationship, and just having the strength to consistently move on this path, that's all that's required of you, and your stars will align. I feel like, Gemini, the universe is giving you things from every angle. I feel like the universe is lining up your blessings for you, and you just have to reach your hands out to take it. Look at the clouds coming from either direction. Here, I'm giving you a new relationship. I'm bridging the gap for you to take this step now to get up out of this hermit mode. Here, I'm giving you some money. Here, I'm giving you money connections. All I need for you to do is to have the strength to show up. Show up, Gemini. All right? All right, so go ahead and click subscribe, drop a comment, turn on post notifications, share this video, and I'll talk to you next time, Gemini. Love and light, tribe.